Hey there, today I'll be showing you how to draw Red from the Angry Birds movie. So we're going to start in the center of the face with the eyebrows. We're going to draw two curves going from the center outwards. So starting with the one on the left, we'll start on the outside and curve down and in towards the center of the face. From here we're going to leave a slight little gap and draw the one on the right. So starting down here and moving our way to the outside. From here let's draw the inner part of the brow. So on the left side I'm going to curve inwards and then back out again and up to the top. And on the right, we'll do the same thing. So it's curving outwards. From here, we're going to draw a curve again on top. So the same curve that we have on the bottom, we're going to duplicate on top. Go slightly wider on the outside here. So up here, we'll start a little bit wider. And we'll come in right towards the middle. And on the right side, we'll do the same thing. So curving outwards. From here, we're going to connect these 2 points from top and bottom with a curve that goes outwards and down towards the bottom. Same on the right. We'll curve down and in. Here, let's go ahead and color those in black. Okay, now that we have those colored in black, we're going to go ahead and draw the outer perimeter of the eye. So basically, this is like a half circle tucked in underneath this brow. So we start on the outside, leaving a gap on the left, curve around, and then in the inside, just leaving another gap here on the inside of the eye. From here, we're going to start back at the top here and just draw a little eye bag. So just kind of draw a curve that comes out. Let's go ahead and draw the same thing on the right side. So starting on the inside this time, go down to the bottom, making sure we have the same height along the bottom edge. Then again, starting up here, we draw a little eye bag. Let's go ahead and tuck the iris and pupil underneath this brow. So we're going to draw a smaller half circle tucked in underneath. I'm not going to draw in the center. I'm just going to slide it over to the right side slightly, like this. And here we're going to draw a smaller circle inside again, like this for the pupil, and color that in black. Let's go over to the right side and draw the same thing. So in here, curve around, back up to the top, and then again, a smaller circle for the pupil. We'll color that in black. From this point, now I want to draw in the beak. So up here at the top of the beak, it comes up to the top, almost like a triangle, and curves out to the side, but the top is actually rounded. So what we're going to do is start from the outside, and we're going to curve up to the top, starting from the outside on the left side, coming up in between the eyes, and just rounding out the tip, and then curving down towards the right side. And you can see that I'm going to lift this higher than the one on the left, so it's a little bit slanted, just to give him a little bit of an expression, a little bit of a grin. From here I want to curve up and down towards the tip of the beak. So coming up and down like a little curve. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now I want to connect these 2 points with a curve that comes down, but it's got a little bit of a point at the bottom. So we're going to start by going straight in an angle, rounding out the bottom of the beak, then going straight up to the right side. Now that we have the face in place, we're going to be able to figure out how big the head's going to be. So on either side of each eye, on the side here, I'm going to draw a point. So one on the left and one on the right, and we're going to curve and connect these 2 points, going around the eyebrows, but at the very top we're going to leave a little gap because we want to draw a little tuft of hair. So from here I just want to draw a nice even curve going up to the top, leaving a gap, and draw that same curve coming down on the right side, down to that point. From here, let's go back up to the top. I'm going to draw some tufts of fur. So from this point, I want to curve up and then curve back, and it gets a little bit wider as I come down. This is for the little tuft of fur that tucks in the feathers underneath. From here, I'm going to go up again with a slightly longer curve and come back over towards the right side. From here, I'm going to go about halfway down this line and go up. And now from here, I want to go over this line, just like that. From here, I'm going to tuck in a couple feathers inside behind this tuft of hair. So from here, I'm going to draw a curve going out and towards the left. From the tip, I'm going to curve down and then pull this back in. So it creates a little wave. Going back to the top again, I want to draw another curve, but now this one is actually a little bit narrower than the one on the left side here. Inside here, I just want to draw a couple little short angled lines going in. It's just to indicate some of the feather lines. We're going to tuck in one more feather in behind this. Now you're only going to see half of this feather. So up here, draw a curve going in behind this feather here. Now here I want to draw that same curve going down and then tucking this in behind. And along this edge, I just want to pull a couple lines like that. Okay, so we got the top part of the head. Let's get into the body and the shoulders. So from this point, I'm just going to draw a curve going out and pulling that back in. This is for a little bit of hair on the shoulders. From this side, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to curve outwards this way, going down, and then pulling that back in. Now this will be the starting point for the arms. Now the arms, I want to kind of have them out almost in like fists. So starting with the one on the left here. So from here, I want to curve down and curve out towards the hands. So the hands are going to come down to about here. So from this point, I want to curve out and I'm going to pull this back in just to show a little bit of hair along the elbow area. So from this point, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Now curving downwards and then back up with a short little line. Now from this point, I want to curve in the first finger. Now because the fingers are like this, I'm going to have 3 fingers that are overlapping each other. So from this point, again, now the fist is going to come down to about here. From this point, I'm going to curve in. I'm going to do an overlap up here and draw another finger that curves up and in. And again, I'm going to do another overlap and curl this all the way around like that. From here, I'm going to overlap the thumb. So coming across over that line and just pulling this inwards like that. From this point, I just want to create a little bracket. So it shows like the finger and the thumb tucked in behind each other. From this point, I'm going to curve this in towards the head with a really short line. Okay, so now I've got the arm in a fist. Let's do the exact same thing on the right side. So from here, I want to curve out. Just like we did on this side. Pull this back in, and then now we're going to reverse the curve for a hair coming down the opposite way, and then back up. Now I want to draw the outside finger, just like we did on the left side, down to here. So curving down and in. For the first finger, I'm going to do an overlap up here, curving in, and draw the last finger up here, curving up, and coming up towards the thumb. Now we're going to overlap that thumb, going across, up, and draw that little bracket that separates the thumb and the finger. And from here, I'm just going to curve up and in. Now from here, let's draw in the body and the legs. So down here, draw 2 legs that are kind of coming down to this furry ankle, which will come down to about here. Starting on the left side, the body is basically like a pear shape that comes up this way. So from this side, I curve down towards the ankle. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. So right about here, curve down. So I got 2 equal length lines on either side. From here, I'm going to again do some fur details. So going up, coming back down. From here, I'm going to go up. Now I'm going to curve the opposite direction. Curving down the opposite direction, and then go up towards the center of the body. I'm going to do an overlap here and go up to about here. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So here I'm going to go up, come down, I'm going to go up, and now reversing the curve. So going in the opposite direction, this way. Going up, and then again doing an overlap and coming up to the same height. So starting up here and doing the overlap. Against these 2 lines, I'm going to connect them, but I'm going to overlap with a curve that goes across both lines. From here, we're going to get into the feet. So the feet has 1 toe that sticks inwards and 3 toes that go outwards. Starting in here, I'm going to have the leg coming down here. So I'm going to draw an angled line. I'm going to draw a curve that comes around for the big toe. And then this is going to curve down towards the first toe. Now we're going to round out the toe and curve in. Now you can see that it gets a little bit narrower as we get towards the inside part of the toe. Do an overlap and pull that in. Do one last one, overlap, pulling this in. Now I'm going to come in towards the ankle here, and I want the ankles to be quite narrow. And then from here, I'm just going to pull this straight up and underneath that ankle fur. Let's do the exact same thing on the right side. So here, I'm going to come down with an angled line. Draw that big toe first, coming around. Now I'm going to draw that curve towards the first toe, coming down, and then coming up, and then getting a little bit narrower as we come back in. Do an overlap, and come in. Do one final overlap, coming in and down. Then from here, I'm going to come up underneath the tuft of fur like this. The final part, we're going to do that little belly shading, that little detail inside here. So on either edge of the mouth, I'm going to start here and curve down and out. I'm going to go up. Now we're doing the fur sort of detail like we did on the outside of the arm here. coming down. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. So on the edge of the mouth here, curve out and down, go back up. We curve in. Now we're sort of imagining like almost like an oval to complete the shape down to here. From this point, I'm going to curve up. On the right, let's do the same thing. Now to finish off the center here, to connect it, come down, we go up. We can do the opposite direction now. Going in the opposite direction, then up towards the right. Now here I'm going to come down with a short line, connecting these 2 points with a curve that goes up like this. And that is pretty much it. There we have it. There's Red from the Angry Birds movie. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.